Hey YouTube, thank you so much for coming to my live stream. I'm really, really excited to be here, and I hope everyone is having a fantastic New Year so far. And everyone had a really, really great Christmas or holiday season or whatever it is that you are, if you celebrated this year. And if you don't celebrate, then I hope you had some time to relax with your family and friends and you just had a really nice break. Mark says, hey from Canada. Hi, Mark. How are you? I hope you had a really, really great Christmas. Liv Panic says, hi, Heather. Hi, Liv Panic. Thank you for joining. I really, really appreciate that. So, my lovely husband actually got me a new camera for Christmas, so I wasn't just using the built in camera on his computer. I don't really know what's going on. There's a lot happening. My camera's over here, and then my screen's over there. I don't know about the lighting either because it's a lot better of a camera, and I just have the lamp on. But like, feel free to give me tips or like your feedback on the lighting, and I can fix it in the next one. I hope it's okay though. I look a little pale, but I think I'd rather be a little bit too bright than a little bit too dark. So I think it's fine. So today I'm really excited to watch a part of the recent national wake up call from Beachbody. Mark says we can see better. Oh, good. Thank you, Mark. And let me know what you think about this. Like, if you need a minute to like watch it and see what you think about the lighting or like the setup, I'm open to all feedback. Rich says, hi, Heather. Hi, Rich. Thank you for joining. We're going to watch a recent national wake up call from Beachbody with the president, Michael Neiman. And I'm not going to do the announcement portion because we've done that a bunch of times on my channel. But in my description box, you'll see that I put the link to the whole national wake up call if you would like to watch the announcement part as well. Michael Neiman is the president of Beachbody, and he's going to tell us about how we should be planning for our business in 2023. So I'm really, really excited, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Okay, I hope this works. I was just practicing with it, and it seemed to be good. Hi, Gary. Thank you for joining. Gary and Rich and anyone else who joins later, tell me what you think about the lighting and the setup because I have a new webcam. Okay, are you ready?
I am here, Keyshawn. Keyshawn, I have to say that every Monday it is, we call it the wake up call. And every Monday when I hear your energy, it just wakes me up officially. And I always think that I need to schedule a morning meeting with you every day of the week around 8 a.m. and just I'll just answer the phone and you start talking for like 10 minutes and then you can hang up and I'll be ready to face my day.
Schedule that in, Michael. That is so funny. I appreciate it. I'm going to turn it over to you, Michael. Thanks for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here after hopefully everybody had just a wonderful holiday and continue to celebrate with your families and loved ones. And I hope everybody is just kind of recharging their engine. I can't believe we have 6 days until 2023. And I have to tell you, I can't wait. I can't wait for 2023 because
it's interesting how he's telling. I don't even know where to look. Should I look here or should I look at my camera? I don't know. He's telling us that he hopes that we can recharge our batteries, and it's interesting because I like to join private Beachbody groups for fun. I'm not going to like use the content for anything, but in the One Star Diamond group, the corporate mentor was like, how are you going to end out your 2022 and what's your plan for working over the holidays? Are you going to take your foot off the gas or are you going to keep pushing? So it's interesting that Michael's telling us that he hopes we like had a break, but then we know in reality that these people are expected to just work constantly, unless you're at the very top of the pyramid. They're expected to work constantly and never take a break. And it's really sad because I went away for pretty much a week to see my parents and see some friends. I did not do YouTube, even though it's a hobby, it's not work, but like I did not do any YouTube. I did not do any work at all. I didn't even open my work computer. And like I still got paid for that because it's vacation, right? And so it's just really sad seeing that dichotomy. Kenzie says LOL in big letters. Are you referring to Michael telling us to recharge our batteries? Because if so, I totally agree.
I think it's going to be really special. I know it's probably hard to tell with my youthful glow, but this is my 17th year here at Body. So I joined the company to help launch our network, and it's been spectacular. And over those 15, 16 years that the network has been going, we've had some incredible highs, and we've had some periods of challenge, and then those periods of challenge give way to kind of another exciting peak. And I have to tell you, I feel it.
Anyone who watches my streams or any of my videos, you know that I think really deeply to everything that these people say. And he's describing the business cycle of Beachbody. Like, you'd have some amazing highs, and then you would have some lows, and then some changes. And I think he's comparing that to our Beachbody business, of course, right? Because there may be times where I don't know where to look. It's too much going on. I'll just look here. There may be times when you are like, you rank up really quick, you make some good money, and then your people drop off quickly, and then you suddenly drop rank really fast, and then your paycheck is really reduced. And I think he's comparing that experience of your average Beachbody coach to the experience of Beachbody as a multi-million-dollar company. They say billion. Who knows if that's actually true? Mark says you can see these people coming. Exactly, Mark. And it's sad because I said this about some Beachbody people before, that I like a lot of these people, like their personalities. If Michael was a colleague, I would probably like him. If I feel like if Fraser Brooks was not connected to MLM, I would probably want to be his friend because he's generally funny. But it's so sad when people are using their intellect and their skills and their backgrounds to just further a very, very unethical business structure, in my opinion.
In my bones that 2023 is going to be one of those transformative years. And I feel it because I feel like there's all of this pressure building up. There's new things coming. Everything is lining up for what we offer to be so needed in 2023 that our future is really going to be incredible. I was reading an article in the paper today that said officially in 2022 lifespans are going down. We all know that stress and anxiety is at just some of the highest levels ever. It's interesting. I noticed that as I would be talking to friends and I'd say, "How's it going?" Often their first response was, "Oh." And I thought, wow, like either there is really, like, people are really stressed and challenged right now, or that's just the response you get when you're a friend of mine. But I'm going to choose to believe that it's not my fault, and that we are just kind of have been dog paddling really hard this year through a lot of stuff, and actually over the last few years. And I think that more than anything else, people want to, need to, are striving to just feel better, just feel a little bit better than they have been. And what's so exciting for us is that, we have always had a great solution for that. Beachbody's products.
So Michael says that over the past several years, most of us have been experiencing challenges with something, of course, like maybe the pandemic worsened our anxiety or mental health challenges. Maybe we struggled not being able to see our family and friends for like a whole year, right? and people are just wanting to feel better physically, mentally, whatever, right? Maybe also financially. And Beachbody, of course, is the solution that people need in order to feel better. And it's so sad that in 2020, 2021, lots of teams just expanded, lots of people in Beachbody, they shot up in rank. And I've seen long time ago, I saw income progressions where in 2019 someone made $40,000, and then in 2020 they made $200,000. So it's literally preying off of people's extreme mental health challenges, extreme financial challenges, and just worrying potentially if you have children, how are you going to feed your children? How are you going to pay for your husband's medication or your wife's medication, or, like just day to day things that make it a lot more challenging to deal with if your employment is unstable. Then the whole mental health aspect too. It's extremely predatory, and I hate it. Okay, I missed some comments. Kenzie said exactly. I forget what that comment was referring to, what exactly referred to, but thank you, Kenzie. Too bad they get tons of people. Yes, Mark, for sure. Fraser could be a Brit stand-up comment. His deadpan manic delivery is sweetly hilarious. Yeah, he's funny. He's funny, but then he also has his moments of being manipulative, and being a parent mom shamer as well. So I do enjoy his personality, and if he wasn't connected to this industry, I would probably like him. And like in real life, I'd want to be his friend and like go out like for coffee and like just hang out. A lot of these people, and also the coach, the Beachbody coach who did that whole what's it called? Success Club Business Activity Tracker training videos on his channel. I like him too. I think he has a good personality. And you want them to join a cult. Yes, they do, because that's how they make their money. That's a good point. Yeah, Mike's not a bad guy, but he must be totally out of touch with the struggling people at the bottom. What do you think about that? Like, do you think he knows about it and is just ignoring it and focusing on the few people who are making millions and millions of dollars? Or do you think that Carl is kind of like hiding the truth from his executives? I feel like it's probably the first one where he's just choosing to ignore the 98% of the people in his company who are making no money. That's a good thought. That panic. Yeah, most people in MLM aren't horrible, but the system is the issue, with just a small percentage of people that are gladly spreading the scam. And I wonder what the process is for someone who gets recruited in, right? And they don't know that they're in a scam. They don't necessarily know that they're manipulating people and mistreating them. And then the longer they're in it, the higher up they get. I feel like there has to be a change of awareness, right? And you're aware that you're doing something wrong, and then you continue to do it anyways because you really bought into the system. And I feel like you would have two unique streams of consciousness going at once potentially, right? And I wonder what that process is. I wonder. And even the greatest people get caught up. Yep. Yeah, you don't have to be like a sketchy person to be caught up in MLM. You just have to be sold the dream and not know that it's a scam when you join. And then you're just so far in once you realize that it could be really hard to leave. You're 100% correct in what you were saying about the two streams of consciousness. Thanks, Candy. I feel like that could happen a lot in day-to-day life for people, right? Like they know like their boss might be like being mean to them, but they still have to be decent and professional to their boss, like to some extent. But this is obviously a more extreme version where potentially that majority of people in your downline are struggling and not making money, but yet you keep encouraging them to continue pushing the dream. I'm talking a lot. Sorry. Come on, Mike.
Over the years, have been transformative for people. Our products and have taken people from places where, they weren't feeling great to places where they were thriving, where they were feeling great. And what's really exciting is that going into 2023, we're taking what was always great and making it even more powerful. Carl has talked, and I'm sure all of you have heard about kind of our shift to pushing people into a health esteem routine, which is all about, not chasing some, ideal that people are putting upon us, but just feeling great every day by participating in a health esteem routine. And you know that routine, there's a gamut. Like, you know, people at the can go all in working out, thinking about their, you know, their nutrition. You know, and it could be as simple as people, you know, who are struggling, and just a simple introduction could be, you know, talking to them about how Shakeology can be an alternative to unhealthy desserts, and that we have these solutions across the spectrum to just start making people feel better on the inside and on the outside. And you know, I have to tell you, with some.
So he's saying that there could be a whole spectrum if someone goes all the way in and does all the workouts, or someone who is just wants to be introduced to, just wants to be like introduced to the product. And he made it seem like, oh, we're just thinking about nutrition, but we know the Beachbody version of health, of healthy eating, is very, very restrictive in my opinion. And you have to follow very, very specific rules. And if you don't, then you're not following the plan. And it's super interesting that they're pushing this narrative of health esteem when we heard Autumn scream at us about wanting to have some candy every night so we don't overdo it on the weekends, and telling us that if we are enjoying our food over the holidays, then we are neglecting our body. And then a few weeks later on her Instagram, she's telling us that asking us why we have an all or nothing mindset. It's because in Beachbody, there's a very, very specific version of what health is, a very specific version of physical activity and exercise, and you only have a health esteem routine if you're drinking Shakeology, if you're drinking the clean energy, which is literally just like caffeinated powder, and if you're following these restrictive eating plans. And there are lots of different ways to have healthy habits and to live a healthy and active lifestyle. I know I missed a lot of comments. I'm going to go through them now. Okay. Anyone could ignore the income disclosure statement if they choose to, even Mike. Yeah, exactly. You're right. And they'll say something like, this shows that the majority of people in our company don't make money, which is true because the majority of people don't put in the work to make the money. If you've ever been in Beachbody, let us know down below. Did you put in the work? Did you try? Did you do what your boss, yeah, technically your boss / upline told you to do? And what were your results? Were you able to make an actual significant profit, enough to feed your family and participate in your community and cover your bills? Yay, it's the best anti-MLM YouTuber there is doing live. Aw, thank you. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate it. It's okay if you feel like you're talking too much. It's always a great conversation. I don't ever feel like you take over the conversation. Oh, thank you, Kenzie. That's really nice. I love just blabbing about this stuff. Super fun. Yeah, body is not about self-esteem. Yeah, you are not healthy if you do not follow exactly what Carl and Autumn tell you to do. It's literally the all or nothing mentality.
Some of the additions that are coming, body blocks. I know that it's always difficult when things are sort of not quite there yet. I know we have body blocks now, and I know that, you know, we're starting to share with you a little bit more of what it's going to be like. But the simplicity of body blocks is going to be incredibly powerful. The layer of mindset that we are adding is unbelievable. I have to say that if you haven't met Petra Kolber, who is our mindset guru, she's an author. This lady is just phenomenal. And this mindset layer that we are building into our product is going to just make it even more effective, even more powerful. And I can't wait until we really dive in on that. And you and your clients are going to get amazing, amazing results.
So I should have linked Amy yours channel down below, but I'm sure a lot of you watched her already. She talked a lot about it, how these changes aren't really changes. They were marketing Shakeology as the healthiest meal of the day, but there were always dessert recipes for Shakeology. Also, like the clean energy, it's literally just energize. It's nothing different. And the mindset portion, there's always been a huge focus on mindset, but in one of those Beachbody groups, it looks like that there's a mindset like tab within the body, so Beachbody on Demand interactive platform, and there'll be like I think like different monthly content related to your needs, like your mindset needs. So we know in MLM mindset is a massive, massive thing, and but is like in MLMs and in Beachbody, of course, but there's just a more specific focus on it within body. Kenzie, oh my God, you're almost at your 4-year channel anniversary. A long time ago, I made a channel just so I could comment on videos I liked. And so technically, yes, if we're just watching other channels, but it's been a little bit over a year since I started to talk about multiple marketing on the internet. So technically, from posting videos, it's been 1 year.
Product just keeps getting better, and it's getting better in a time where people have never needed it more. And what's so exciting, and I think that as we look into 2023, we are really working on not just making it better, but making it simpler for our coaches to present what we offer, and simpler for our consumers to engage with it, and really start feeling great on day one. We're building what really is a plug and play solution. You know, you talk to people, they see that you're happy, they see that you're feeling great, they want to know how they can do it. You bring them in and plug them in, and then our products do the rest, which is really phenomenal. So it's a simple solution, and I think that 2023 is just going to be the time when it all comes together and we can celebrate so many achievements. You know, and by the way,
so he's saying that Beachbody is a simple plug and play solution. All you need to do is share your experience with the amazing, brilliant products. You bring people in and you help them do it too. I've heard other ways of explaining the coaching opportunity. You're getting paid for working out. You're getting paid for your results. You're getting paid for Shakeology. If you are introducing people to a product and they actually like it and they want to keep using it, you are going to get commission, and you're also obviously going to make the most money if you get someone to be a member of your downline. But it's definitely not a simple process to recruit someone into an MLM. And we know there's always a very unrealistic description of what you actually need to do to find any level of financial success in Beachbody or any MLM. They don't say you need to recruit. In Beachbody, the Beachbody context, you need to recruit hundreds of people at least in your downline to make any kind of decent money, because we know if the actual realistic description of the tasks were used and spread by coaches, then no one would want to join, unfortunately. Okay, Kenzie said, oh cool, I was still early on your anti-MLM journey. Yeah, you've been around here for a while, Kenzie. Yeah, you're right. Awesome. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you for anyone else, like with Panic and Rich and Rosie, if you're watching, like the people who've been around for months and months and months. So I really appreciate that. It's awesome. Charlie says, listening to this guy is like watching paint dry. That's funny. The products are front. You're totally right, Mark. It doesn't really matter what they're selling as long as they get people into the system buying their personal volume requirements. Mark Richardson, you were right. Even if something works, it's never worth the MLM structure. The body is exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Even I've heard that these workouts are really, really good, and lots of people enjoy them, and that's great. However, you can find similar ones elsewhere for free, or even if it's not for free or for cheaper, you're not supporting the MLM business structure. That's a really good point.
I hope that 2023 is an entire year of hundreds, if not thousands, of little mini celebrations for you, because we need that. Those celebrations make us feel so much better. You know, it's interesting. We often have discussions about our recognition programs. and we'll get comments about people saying, I love this part of the recognition program, or we get equal number of comments saying, yeah, but it doesn't recognize this, or it doesn't recognize that. And, and we listen to all those, and where we can, we make changes. But the reality is that we're never going to be able to create a recognition program that celebrates everything that deserves celebration. So here's what I'm going to ask of you. Make your own personal recognition program for yourself, and maybe even for your teams. And the things that you can recognize, they don't have to be huge. But here's what I would do. I would think of 100 little business celebrations a month that you should go after in 2023. And those little celebrations can be as small as just starting a relationship with somebody new, because ultimately those relationships, starting to build those relationships of trust, is what leads people to be attracted to you, is what leads people to say, hey, I want to feel good like you, is what leads those people to becoming your customers and hopefully having a great experience and becoming coaches themselves and building your organization. So just networking, just meeting new people. If you could meet.
So I want to let him talk for a second. So let's compare this to my office environment job. Okay, so he wants us to celebrate every single thing that happens in a month, right? So this could be similar to, I do a lot of writing and research in my newish job, right? And so I send my first piece of writing to my boss. She loves it. She thinks it's great. She calls all of my colleagues around my desk and she says, everyone listen, Heather just finished her first piece of writing for me and it was so fantastic. I want all of us to go around the circle and tell her congratulations, because we know these recognition posts in the team pages, one person will do the post and then you'll have, depending on which coach it is, you'll have hundreds of people underneath all saying, congratulations, I knew you could do it. You're so inspiring. And so colleague 1, oh, great job, Heather. Colleague 2, I'm so pleased that you're here, Heather, and going around the circle. That is not a real thing in real life. As grown-ups, we do not need to sit there and celebrate every little tiny thing that happens to us. I said this 1,000 times, so I'm not going to go into huge detail here. We know that while it's lovely to be supportive in the workplace and to tell people that they're doing a good job in MLM, it's not used just with like a nice altruistic purpose. It's to keep people in the system longer who are really seeking positive reinforcement and positive connections in their lives. And those who do, especially during COVID, those who weren't really talking to anyone, who became really isolated, those people may or may not be trying to seek genuine human connections with other adults, and Beachbody may be how they get those connections. And it sounds great. It sounds like he's trying to be such a nice person, but we know that there's a darker reason behind him wanting us to do 100 celebrations every single month. Also, if we're being celebrated for every stupid little thing we do, we might forget, we might not notice that we're not making any money. And of course, we're celebrating things, he's going to say it later, that have no bearing on our income. Why would we celebrate having a conversation with someone? That's not going to do anything unless we sell a product or preferably get them to join as a member of our team. Also, of course, we can't just have customers in Beachbody. We need to have a customer with the intention of potentially turning them into a coach down the road. That's all for now.
10 new people a month, 20 new people a month, those are 20 celebrations. If you can develop those relationships to the point where you're able to invite them into your body world, into starting their own health esteem routine, those are more celebrations. For every person that you invite, think about it. If I can invite 5 people a week, they may not all say yes, but just the fact that you've invited them is something to celebrate. And when they join.
Are we getting paid for all of the time it takes us to celebrate not our inviting 5 people a week, but say we have a team of 50 people in our downline. Are we getting paid for tracking all of these celebration worthy events and writing the recognition posts and all that time and effort it takes to plan that out? Of course not. We get paid though if those recognition posts and that praise and positive reinforcement keeps that person as a member of our downline longer. And the more they contribute to our volume, the longer they stay, we're going to get more team cycle bonuses and matching bonuses from that. So we do get paid down the road if our manipulation, if our positive reinforcement works and it keeps them in the company for longer. I lost my mouse. Where is it? LM Company, what have you done for me lately? Right? Right, yeah. It's not nothing to do with us. It's like us making money for Carl and for Michael. Funny story, I saw a man on the plane that looked just like Carl Deichler. It's not Carl, obviously, but I was like, hey, it's Carl's twin. Heather, you're very negative. I know, right? I'm so negative. I would be to them, even though I'm just chilling and like talking calmly about my opinions. No one would ever come across my little channel here, but if they did, I would be negative and I would be a hater, even though I'm saying everything in a really respectful way, in my opinion. But it's funny, Mark.
In your teams, their results, their engagement, them starting to feel great. Every time you can get one more person to feel great in a month, that's another celebration, not just for them, but for you too. Every time that you can bring a new coach onto your team, that's a celebration. If you can bring one new coach a month, 2 new coaches, 3 new coaches a month onto your team, that's a massive celebration. Why are you celebrating? 1, you're bringing people in who are going to now spread the news of helping other people feel better. 2, you're probably going to make some commissions when those people come in. And every time you earn something, that's a reason to celebrate. Every time you have a new coach
Every time you earn something, that's a reason to celebrate. So if you earn a $10 paycheck, is that a reason to celebrate, even though you spend at least the $50 as an Emerald coach to get that $10 paycheck, and you probably spent $90 because your coach wants you to qualify for Success Club so they can be a premier or elite coach? You're celebrating the financial stability of your high up upline coach. You're not celebrating your own financial stability. I hate that. Better than toxic positivity. Yeah. I hate toxic positivity. If I'm pissed, I'm going to say I'm pissed. I'm going to verbalize my feelings.
You bring on and you show them how easy it is, the process, the methodology for them bringing new people onto their teams. It's not only an opportunity for them to celebrate, it's another business celebration for you. That's how you start to build organizational growth. That's how you start to build a downline of productive coaches that are building volume, which is earning checks, not just for you, but for them too. Every time I can help a new coach earn their first check, that is a celebration. So I would say, let's go for 100 mini celebrations each month. If we can get 100 celebrations each month, so in 2 months, that's 200 celebrations across the whole year, that's 1,200 celebrations a month. I guarantee you that that is going to start to shape the future of your body business in a really powerful way. And the great news is that what you're representing is not an empty promise. So many people have transformed their lives with our products. So many people have joined this network and found satisfaction and fulfillment. And I have to tell you, not just from income, but from relationships and experiences. All of those are things to celebrate too. So,
I feel like he caught himself there. He was going to say, and people have joined the business and found financial freedom, but we know they're not allowed to say that because it's like on their list of, you can't say financial freedom. You can say financial flexibility You can't say 6-figure income, you can't say 7-figure income. So yeah, there's a lot of new compliance rules that the coaches are required to follow. I had a point that I had a reason for pausing and I don't remember. So if I remember, I'll pause again. Sorry about that.
Well, I really think, and I hope that as you are, thinking about the coming year, I think so many of us think like, okay, I'm going to make a resolution, and that resolution, whatever it is, it's something big and grandiose. And I think like I think it's like January 18th, right around there. There's some date that is like national. I've given up on my resolution day. I don't know, it probably has a better name than that, but it's the time when statistically they say that 88% of the people have given up on their resolutions. And
Did it pause?
and
Stop. Michael, where's your sources? Of course, they're not going to give us any because you want to phrase this statistic in a way that pushes the Beachbody narrative that people are looking for a simplistic, easy solution in order to feel better. And of course, the Beachbody is that simplistic solution. Also, of course, it's not just move your body in a way that you enjoy. Walk your dog. Try to eat more fruits and vegetables. Try to eat a little bit less junk food if you're wanting to lose weight. You don't have to want to lose weight. Not everyone wants to. Of course, the dieting industry would not exist and the weight loss industry would not exist if people were just pushing the make small, simple, sustainable changes, and you will most likely see some results. And I say most likely because, of course, if you have an underlying chronic condition, you may need to seek medical assistance if you're not able to lose weight. So that's not going to work for everyone. Eating less, moving more is not going to work for everyone. But Michael is not going to just say that. Like, say, if you want to keep your resolutions, make a simple, easy, sustainable goal. No, he's going to say that we need to follow Beachbody in order to meet any of our goals at all. Of course, Beachbody is the only solution to anything. Carrie says 1,200 celebrations per year, 3 or 4 a day. When would any work get done? Would there be a cake? Cake was big in my office. That's a good point, though, because there is the Beachbody Success Club activity tracker where you have to do your income producing activities, and technically recognition is not an income producing activity. So when are we supposed to do all of this, Michael? And when are we supposed to find time to invite and post on our stories to get new recruits? That's a good point. Buddy, you're at the top. Yeah, Mark, right? And like he's not at the top of the pyramid, like the selling pyramid, but he is profiting from everyone who's in the pyramid, who's making millions of dollars at the top, or who's going into debt in the middle and the bottom. That's a good point. Where's my mouse?
I think because they're so big and abstract. And I think that, again, like focusing our goals on these tiny celebrations. And I know that inside of our recognition program, we have big goals. Like, hey, you should be an elite coach. You should be a premier coach. You should be a Success Club executive. All of these things. And you know what? Here's what I'll tell you. Don't worry about that. Just worry about the little things that are going to add up. The compound effect, if you've ever read that book. But the little things, focusing on those little things to celebrate every time I meet somebody new, every time I start to build a relationship with them, every time I welcome them onto my team as a customer or welcome them onto my team as a coach, every time I can work with those people so that they have a vision and a methodology to do the exact same thing. And now it's not just me building this team of celebrations, but I have a team building a team of celebrations. All of those things, if you continue on those things, all of those celebrations are going to bring you so much joy and satisfaction. But
it's interesting how he was talking about the premier and elite ranks, like the road to elite system. Excuse me, 1 second, please. And he's saying, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, and instead just focus on the process, focus on the journey, focus on celebrating all of the little things. That'd be really confusing as a coach because your upline, wants you to meet those goals so they can meet their own goals themselves. And if I don't hit premier, if I don't keep my certain rank, then potentially my coach is not going to become elite. And of course, I think this is a great example of the bait and switch, because if you get to an elite, if you become an elite coach in Beachbody, you're going to be making a lot of money. If you get to premier, you'll start to make good money, maybe, depending on the structure of your downline. And he's saying, don't focus on the achievements that may or may not, that may bring you financial success. Focus on the things that are focused on, that are about like relationships and happiness and building connections, because that's the important part of our Beachbody business, helping people make an impact on others' lives. And like Moira Kusaba says, if you change a mama, you change your family. We don't need to change mamas. They're great. Thank you. Of course, we focus on the little micro interactions instead of the money. And then when we go to our upline and ask, like, I'm doing exactly what you wanted me to do and I'm not making any money, that could potentially be thrown back on us. And they're going to question, well, why are you so focused on money? You should be focused on making an impact instead. With Panic says, he's ignoring the fact that people have side hustles primarily to earn some money. Right? Right? Like, I feel like the majority of people who start Beachbody want to make money. But then I'm sure there are people out there who just need connection. But I feel like that would be like a small portion. That's a good point. We have 7 minutes left.
2, all of the things that we normally equate with goals, like how much money am I making? Am I qualifying? Am I moving up in rank? Am I qualifying for elite? All of those things are going to be the output of that. So you don't have to worry about those things. Just worry, put the main part of your focus.
So if we focus on 100 business celebrations a month, then we are just magically going to become an elite or premier coach, of course, because that's how MLM business structures work. Just recognize useless little shit celebrations and then you'll magically make money.
Focus on the little daily, weekly, monthly business celebrations, because building those is going to shape your future. So I just want to say that I want to go back to saying that whenever, again, over these last 16, 17 years, when I've seen the business just take off and explode, and honestly, like, it often comes at a time when you think, I can't see it happening. And then a little spark happens, and that spark builds another spark, and it just takes off. But when I see that happening, it is when people are finding joy in what they're doing. And they're finding joy in the immediacy of helping people. And they're finding joy in seeing the joys in other on their team. And so that is so critical. We have enough stress and anxiety.
So I think he's saying there, if we do not find financial success in Beachbody, it's because we don't have joy in what we're doing, and we're not approaching our writing and our posting and our recruiting with the correct mindset. And of course, it's something that is impossible to measure. Your upline can't get into your brain and determine what your mindset is when you are approaching a prospect. So it's just a great way, in my opinion, to gaslight downline coaches and make them feel like it's their own fault when they are in this system that is literally set up for only a few people at the very, very top to be millionaires, and then the rest to barely make any money or lose money. Great gaslighting, Michael. Huh. Tim says, oh, hi, Tim. Hey, Heather, listening and driving. LOL. Happy 2023. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for joining, Tim. I really appreciate it. And Tim's been around for a long time, too. So, hi, Tim. Thank you for sticking around for so long. And I hope you are having a great start to your 2023.
Outside, let's make body our magical place. Let's make it the magical, safe place where all of us thrive, where all of us come into this business and are energized and being ambassadors of positivity and feeling good that people can't resist joining. I used to joke when we first started the company.
I know I'm pausing a lot. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. So we need to make Beachbody our magical, happy place where we're just positive and we find joy in being with each other, right? Think about any other workplace you've been in. Did you ever hear it described as your happy, magical, safe place? No, that's creepy. That's culty. Why in MLM do people like they're expected to make their MLM their entire personality and their entire lives, and there is no separation between work and your family life because your MLM colleagues or competitors, because you are competing, those people become your family and your MLM becomes your life. It's so creepy and so culty, in my opinion. What does Charlie say? Charlie says a regular Disneyland. Right? Right? Michael, you're in a cult.
Company, I remember I was at some industry event and somebody said, they were saying like, how do you guys have such an infectious culture? Why do people want it? And I said, look, one of the things that's really important to me is that, sometimes when you go to a wedding and you're at kind of that table in the back and you see that table like two tables over where people, like there's like a glow around the table. Like everybody is having so much fun. They're laughing and, you just kind of keep moving your chair a little bit closer. And I think that, over the years, there have been times when our Beachbody community, now our body community, has had that like glow where there is so much positive camaraderie and people just feeling healthy, feeling good, loving being a part of the community that it just can't help but attract others. I really feel that that's going to happen in 2023. There's a lot of.
Mark said they want your soul. Yeah, it's so weird. And so now I think he's kind of insinuating that Beachbody is just an infectious culture. Like what Panic said, that's weird too. Why are we infecting people with our culture, right? That's such an infectious culture that of course everyone is going to want to join you in 2023 because everyone is looking to feel better and everyone's sad and anxious and stressed. And Beachbody is the answer to all of their life's problems. And everyone is just going to be attracted to Beachbody just because of how the glow that we all give off and how we interact with each other, and all of the people who are lonely or sad are going to be attracted to that and join. I don't know why, but this guy bothers me more than others. Interesting. Yeah, I think he's like the least. Probably bothers me the least out of the. What am I trying to say? I was gonna say out of like the Beachbody executives, but no, I think Carl definitely bothers me the most. But I'd say like I'd say in real life I would probably like him and I would probably like want to be his friend if I met him at work because I think he seems like a nice person, but he knows what he's doing. He knows that people in his company are losing money and he knows that he's manipulating people and I think he's gaslighting people as well. And he knows. So I'm torn. Seems like a nice person, seems smart, but then he's also mistreating people within this system as well. Yeah, he seems so out of touch. Yeah, they all are. Because just like the distributors, they have to portray a specific vision of the life as a Beachbody coach. Because if they were being truthful and said majority of people barely make any money, then no one's going to join, right? And no one is going to purchase their personal volume requirements.
Things that I'm not good at. But one of the things that I have been good at over the years is like just having this feeling of when things are going to turn, and when like when winter is going to turn to spring, and I really feel like 2023 is going to all come together. But
if you watch BC and the Snark Cruise streams, like they've been talking about how the stock prices are going down and how a lot of high up beachbody coaches are moving to other companies. I think Jen said Modair, Arbonne. I don't know all the details. So they're probably scrambling a little bit, and the high up beachbody coaches are probably worried that a lot of their downline are leaving and they're losing out on money. And so, of course, Michael's going to sit here and say that he thinks that in 2023, everything is just going to magically turn around and everything is just going to magically come together because the people who are scared and stressed out about all these people leaving, they're going to be worried. Maybe they're starting to question themselves whether or not they should leave Beachbody. Charlie says, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah, and they're the most dangerous ones, right? They're not outwardly screaming at us and manipulating us in a really obvious manner, but if you really listen, then what they're saying is definitely more sinister, in my opinion.
It won't be magic. It's going to happen through work. It's going to happen through spreading the news. It's going to happen through sharing your experiences with others. It's going to happen through constantly thinking about, how do I create new relationships? It's going to be constantly thinking about, how do I support people to drive them forward in their goals? And it doesn't, so it's going to take all of that work, but the work gets easier because you're doing something that you love, and you're doing something that brings you joy, and you're promoting something that you know is going to bring joy in others. So
he's saying a lot while also saying nothing at the same time. And this is a whole lot of word salad. I wonder with speeches like this, do you think he actually has notes? Do you think he wrote an outline, or is he just sitting there talking and making stuff up as he goes along? I can't imagine being able to get this kind of narrative down on paper because it's just we're going in a circle. He's not really saying anything. He's saying that in 2023 we need to celebrate everything and that the Beachbody is just going to turn around. That's all he's saying, but it's been like 20 minutes of the same thing, just said in slightly different ways.
With that, I know it's still kind of the holiday week, so I won't go on too long. But here's what I ask of you. You don't even have to wait the 6 days for 2023. We'll just say officially, starting today, December 26th, it's the first day of 2023. It's the first day of our shape.
December 26th. So coaches were expected to be on this call on Boxing Day. I wasn't working on Boxing Day. I was laying around and getting paid for it.
Or 2023. I want you to think about what are going to be my 100 business celebrations each month. If you have a team, I want you to talk to your team. What are going to be their 100 business celebrations each month? Knowing that each one of these things that you're celebrating is not just helping people to feel great about themselves, but it's also helping to grow your business. And again, I think if you can knock off 100 of these a month with a focus on helping others and growing your business, it's going to shape up into something big. If you can only do 50, do 50. If you can do 500 celebrations, awesome. It'll shape an even bigger future. But let's spend 2023.
So it's all, I said this already, this is all going to be unpaid labor unless your recognition and your positive reinforcement keeps someone in the system longer. So how many hours would it take for you to keep track? You have to have a system in place to make sure your downline knows what you're celebrating, and you have to have a tracking system, and you need to write the content. It would be hours and hours and hours of unpaid labor.
in a world of excitement and growth and feeling great and having businesses that we just love getting up and focusing on every day. So with that, I will give you a pre-Happy New Year's. I hope that everybody just, cherishes their time with their family and friends over the next few days. I hope again that you've all started your own health esteem routines. I know that.
Okay, we don't need to listen to him talk about that stuff. He's just going to say, hope you all celebrated with your friends and family, and I hope you are all interested in health esteem. I hope you're all developing your own health esteem routine, of course, as long as it aligns with our Beachbody products, and that you are following Autumn's meal plan and doing our programs in the exact way they were written, because if you don't do that, then you don't have a health esteem routine. So I hope you enjoyed this video on Michael telling us about how in 2023, Beachbody is just going to magically turn around and you are going to find fantastic success as long as you celebrate people 100 times a month. And like Gary said somewhere up here, when are you supposed to do any work? When are you supposed to do your income producing activities if you're just creating a tracking system and spending all day writing content? I would love to know, Michael. I would love to know. So this was really fun. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you to Kinsey and Gary and Mark and Rich and Live Panic and Charlie, of course. Thank you, Charlie. Oh, some comments. Happy New Year. Thank you again, Heather, for all your hard work and great commentary. Happy New Year to you, Rich, and to everyone else. And thank you for watching, Rich. I really, really appreciate it. Nice job. Thanks, Heather. Oh, you're welcome, Live Panic. Thank you for watching. It's awesome. Thanks for the live, Heather. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone is having a good year so far in your second day. So I'm going to go live again tomorrow at 4:45 my time. I'm either going to do, I saw Carl had a national wake-up call, I think, today, like just today. So I'll either do that or do an Amway stream. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4:45 if you're able to make it live. So thank you to everyone who watched live, and thank you to everyone who will watch later, and anyone who leaves a like or a comment. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope you have a really good night. Bye!